Yeah, I've been following this case for a couple days and I saw another case nearby and I'm not sure if it's related. I mean, I'm sure they're looking at everything, but what's so odd about it, I don't know, maybe family members in here are a part of it. I don't know, they're looking. But on this other case, they had two teens from Morro Bay area. And I used to live there, by the way, but I don't know who those two are and or parents related. But they claim they were on a site called Signal, an app, and they said that some guy told them, and I guess they never met each other before, these two teens. I don't understand how this is going on. So they tell them to go to Arizona to go do a house invasion. So it's similar to this case, like something weird about it. And I was like, okay. And then what did they tell them to do? They said, demand $66 million dollars in crypto. But here's the weird thing about it. Nobody would have $66 million dollars in crypto. Who's going to have that? Maybe a Peter Thaw. Nobody has that. So when I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, it almost seems like a trolling type of crime, or to see if they could get any money and it's going to be diverted to somebody outside the country. Something weird, right? But that's what they're saying right now. I don't know what two idiot guys are going to sit there and go, hey, it sounds like a great idea. The only thing I could think of is that they promised them some money. Like, if you do it, you're going to get paid XYZ. And then, the greed bug hit these two kids with no morals. And they, I guess, drove to Arizona. I guess it's in Tucson. And I'm assuming they gave them an address to go to. But they broke into this house and watched when these people came in and then started attacking them, just physically attacking them. And they said he was on top of a guy. And then they said, give me 66 million in crypto. Well, then they chase him down the street and then they get caught, right? So this is a couple days after this other case right here. So I was thinking about it, and then they arrest this other guy for the fake ransom in California as well. And they said that case is not related. I'm like, what are the chances of this? This is absolutely bizarre. Like it's just this random, like, let's just do some break-ins and demand crypto and ransoms and all this crap. This is not typical, mostly today. Home invasions are, though. So one of the things in home invasions, they've been using cameras. So yeah, they can monitor your movements. So then they know when they can come strike. So apparently they're saying they found a camera on top of her house. But I was looking at it and I'm like, maybe it has nothing to do with their family at all. And it's another idiot that they got to do this bullshit crime. And that's why they're having such a hard time with it. And that the ransom person is just a fraud. It's like a person telling people to do crimes and then they're doing it and then they're not getting paid, obviously. But I don't know, because like if you come into the house and you do some bullshit, it wasn't that long. People were saying 41 minutes. I go, no, it was like 15 minutes. It wasn't very long at all. The pre-setup though, they went around and knocked out all the cameras and then they had to try to break in the home. So I don't know how they broke in the home, but eventually they break in the home and then the camera inside catches a person on camera. So then it tells you when they entered. And then it was like 15 minutes and then the next thing you know, she's gone. So I was like, well, a couple of things could happen there. I mean, it depends on the MO of the case, right? So, I was like, they could have came in, try to demand 66 million in crypto, right? If you're like doing that, and then they start beating her up. That's what the other people were doing. And then all of a sudden, maybe something bad could have happened. It could be a thing where like they were told to do this crime, and then it went really bad. And then they're like, oh, let's remove the body somewhere. Like they didn't get what they were trying to get. And then they may have just somewhere, because they're looking at manholes and things like that, and then took off, and they're strangers and then nobody knows who they are, right? And then this idiot that's doing all the crimes on the signal, telling people to do these crimes, is now effing with law enforcement, and they're not probably from the country. That's my thinking on it. But a secondary version can be, yeah, family members set up something to make it seem like that, and it's just randomly there's these weird crypto guys and doing weird stuff from our state in Arizona. Yeah, so I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you guys because I don't know what evidence they have. It's just that there is a secondary case that I'm looking at, and I was like, if it's true what they're saying, then they very well may have got somebody else to do a crime out there to try to do that. We don't know. And it's strange that they're telling him to go to Arizona, though. Peculiar. I mean, I don't know. It could just be a trolling person. Why did they get someone from California? I don't know. It's so. I don't know. It's very strange stuff. But no, it's not common. It feels like there's something in it that's fake. Like there's something about it that's just like a throw off. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. But that's what the other guys are saying. I would almost have to believe what they're saying. Who would just run? The only thing when I was looking at it, I go, the only other thing I could think of if you're just demanding 66 in crypto, you just wanted to commit a crime, like a thrill crime. Like you're coming in, why are you beating up the guy or whatever, like doing this thing? So yeah, take that story and put it to this story, and you can see this other mastermind that's just coordinating, hey, go commit this crime, I'll give you some money. You go get this, I give you that. And then they're not here, so they have no fear of getting arrested here. Like it's just they're criminals. I don't know. It could be that, and it would be really unfortunate on that date. If they got arrested on the 31st, it would definitely not be these two. The person I was thinking, oh, the person may have recruited somebody else, and then they had all these people commit these crimes on the same day to try to get all this crypto. And then in Arizona, I don't know why Arizona though. It's weird. So they sent him to there. They gave him instructions. They Signal encrypted message app and sent them $1,000 to purchase the UPS style disguise. So this person sent these kids $1,000 to purchase a UPS style disguises, zip ties, duct tape, and materials to build a 3D printed gun that police later recovered at the scene. Think of this other case, okay? So I was like, oh. So this criminal from maybe out of the country, you guys, this is just organized crime, some weird crap, okay? Sent them $1,000 to try to get money. I guess they figured like if we ask NG-Man 66, it's an oddball number that nobody would have. Maybe they figure like if they get any portion of that money back, or they're just getting a thrill over getting idiots to do crimes that they know they can't do. I don't know. It's a strange thing. But when you think of the mom's case and you see that little bit of drip below and everything, so he's sending money to these people to get criminal stuff and then commit these crimes and build a 3D printed gun. Who has that? I don't have a 3D printer. But anyway, these somehow, so they get him to do this. How? Like, I couldn't even be talked into this. These guys are idiots. You don't pay attention to your sons? Like, you give your sons no morals? Like, what is this crap? You know what I mean? You couldn't do this to me. Not as a kid, never. Go drive across country. How is a 16 and 17-year-old away from their parents, right? That's another question here in California. Takes off and does this. Okay, into Arizona. Crypto theft plot disguised as delivery scheme. Police said responded to the home at 10:45. After receiving emergency reports, when they arrived, they heard a woman screaming and saw a man struggling with one of the youth. So the guy's like attacking them. They're like, give me crypto. Give me crypto. This is what they're doing. And they go, the suspect fled through the back door, and they realized police were entering the property. And then the crypto theft plot unraveled when the suspects attempted to escape in a blue Subaru, but they were boxed in at a dead end. And they got arrested. They were sent $1,000, disguises and restraints, and given the address of the home. They also claimed they had never met before and were acting under pressure, though police have not publicly detailed the nature of that alleged coercion. Okay. So this is the new information on that. So they may have been getting threats that this guy was going to come and kill them if they didn't do it. Okay, so if they're getting an additional threat on these kids, then they're a victim of a crime. But then they went to go commit a crime. But they're also minors and they're stupid as hell. And nobody actually technically got hurt in this case. However, we have a secondary case and I'm looking at it going, maybe that's what happened. The same person got another individual, made this threat. then had him go do this thing and maybe injured the woman somehow or did something, or the guy told him to do something. So we don't know. Okay, we don't know. And okay, charges filed as wider crypto theft plots concern. Okay, they were later released on 50K bail. Ankle monitors. Yeah, the same thing with Nancy. My thinking, so this is where my thinking went on this case, is that it may be related to the same a-hole, and then they sent some other person to do the other crime, and yeah, so in the addition, it would mean that they were making threats to the kids and putting them into a situation where it was like a blackmail demand type of thing, extortion, something. Like, I'm going to come and kill your parent. Like, something. There was probably a threat. There was definitely probably a threat. Then it makes more sense as to why these idiots would even do that. Because I was like, nobody could send me a thing on there. Hey, you want to do this? Here's $1,000. Okay, so then it has an additional threat on the person. And then they're scared, maybe. And then then they go do it. Because they're, young kids. They don't, that thing. Instead of going, hey, you know what? Maybe we should call the cops. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's doing this to me online, I would be like, oh my God, I'm going to take this into the detective, instead of like, we're going to go do it. Okay. But this is what's happening. So yeah, they could have got somebody else, some other young person or some other idiot, and did this crime right here. And then the evildoers, the one playing along going, send me 6 million in crypto. Okay, so that's the dude. And so he's not actually doing anything. He's just making threats and telling people to do stuff. He has money, because how's he sending them $1,000? I'd have taken that money and ran. I would be scared to take the money, because I would feel like, oh my God, is government trying to set me up if I would do a hit for hire or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, I would think like something horrible. Even though, like, the tempting thing is like, just send it, dude. I ain't gonna do that shit. What do you like? But yeah, that would make it feel more real though, if they actually sent the money and you're just like, whatever threat they made. So yeah, that's pretty bad. My thinking right now is it might be related to this case. That's where I sit on it, just because the both cases are so out of whack. It's just like, okay, so there is an alleged middle idiot here. Don't send him money. I think something, I don't know what happened in that case, but the person that's making the threats, I don't believe has this woman at all. It's just some other, I don't know. He could be in freaking China for all we know. Why Arizona though? My question is like, why did this person like select these addresses? Like the mom of this thing, I can see why. But this other place, it was like some apartment with some people. Just go to this address. That's some a-hole's gonna tell like some people to come to my house and totally, shake me down for 66 million in crypto. How horrifying is that?